Hello everyone, today I'm gonna start Gen 2. As you can see, we're doing a ROM hack of somebody that is a popular YouTuber that decided to redo the original Gen 2 and try to make it more, a custom and more easier to handle. I already have a save file, but I'm gonna overwrite that save. And we're only playing normal because hard is set mode, no items in battle, and the Yep, I'm good on that right now. Hard mode is just basically Nuzlocke mode, but without the 1135. I would love to get it on the dot. I would love the clock to change as soon as I've set it. That would be great. Oh, that's perfect. It just changed. Anyway, we're gonna play this version of Gen 2. As opposed to the original. Anyway, we're gonna use a name here and here we go. Now in Gen 2 only, if a Pokemon has a low attack stat, it usually means it's gonna be a female Pokemon. So if you have a female Pokemon, you're gonna have a low attack DV. Today is currently Monday. Yes. Anyway, we go straight to Professor Elms. We get three choices. We have hard mode, which is the grass type, easy mode, which is the fire type, and medium mode with the water type. The reason why I say that the water type is medium is due to the fact that it actually takes longer for it to become its second form compared to the other two. You see in this gen, the grass starter evolves at 16, like most starters. The water starter evolves at level 18, unlike most starters. And the last one evolves at level 14, the fire starter. Even back then, I used to use Cyndaquil. We're gonna use Chikorita. Ironically enough, even though it has a feminine name, it still follows that suit where male, it has a higher chance of being male than female. It'd be funny if it's female today, but it's not. We will worry about a fire type later on. And if you're wondering what starter I picked for the other save file, it's quite obvious. I picked the fire starter. It's the Texas fast shift. I don't know a difference. There is a difference. Now in this generation and this generation only. The first generation and the second generation are connected. They're right next to each other, so imagine this being 1999, 2000 era. And you find out that in the end of the game, that's not just it. You get to travel back to the generation you just did a few years ago. When you were just a little younger. Revisiting the areas that has changed over 3 years. Because in real life, whenever Generation 2 came out, it was actually 3 years after the first gen ended. Started, I mean, not ended. So, it was using a symbolism or realism by saying 3 years have passed since the things that occurred in Generation 1. You may be asking, why did I pick Chikorita? Because no one ever picks it, and not only that, but due to the fact that I would like to actually try it out somewhat. Razorleaf. Too bad you won't, it's not Generation 1 Razorleaf. Now, all the things that they changed between this gen and the previous gen, they made it so that crits aren't based on how fast your Pokemon's base speed is. Introducing this generation is also Shiny Pokemon, which is a Pokemon that has a different palette. In this generation, I think all they did was invert the palette. And obviously there was a lot of other bug fixes and whatnot for this game to come out. And that's pretty much the basis of how everything began. What is your stats currently, by the way? I love how both my level IDs of the first two thing. Pokemon Green was a low ID, and this one's low too. I don't know Chikorita's actual base stats, so. And I obviously forgot the main thing. In this generation, there is a day and night cycle. Funny how the games that came after this didn't do that. I love how there is a purple Spinarak that they made for some reason, but it's not actually purple. We are headed towards Professor Oak's little cabin. Which is funny that it's in just the middle of the woods. Thing is, we can't catch anything right now. We cannot catch any Pokemon until we get back to the professor. Not this one, the other one. Another thing introduced in Generation 1, I'm gonna say Gen 2. As you just saw, they mentioned an egg. This is the first generation where breeding Pokemon was a thing. That's why they had to introduce Pokemon genders. Now, when a Pokemon has a certain egg group that's probably introduced in this gen too, they are more likely to breed than they would if they are not. The only Pokemon that cannot breed are legendaries or any Pokemon that's in the undiscovered egg group. So, when you have a Pokemon that's in that group, you cannot breed them. And if it's a Pokemon that does not have a gender, the only Pokemon that can breed with them is a Ditto. So if you were going to make use of breeding, that's the only way you can make use of it. And I know getting the experience share this early is going to be kind of broken, but it'll help a lot. And we also have running shoes, because it wouldn't make sense to not be able to run early in the game, considering you don't get a bike until the 3rd city. Now, I find it funny that in this generation that they decided to make the regional bird have 100 base stat and HP. Which means it's guaranteed to have over 300 HP, because once you hit 95 base HP, it's only guaranteed 100. So, that being said, the fact that they didn't make it a psychic and flying type, considering how many psychic moves it learns, and not only that, but the fact that it gives off that kind of vibe where it could have worked as psychic type. But that's enough about that. Let's go heal here first. And now we head further east back to where we got our starter. And they did program it so that you cannot get Pokeballs until you get back to the professor's lab. Alright, the first thing we're gonna do is use Growl. Oh, that's not ideal. Was it a speed tie for, like, is it a speed tie? They also fixed it so that if you crit, it does not actually act bugged to the point where, oh my lord, I crit. That means that the stat boost and stat depletion don't matter. The only thing that matters was when you crit. If they have boosts and anything, it doesn't matter. It's ignored. Which is a good thing. Because some of these battles take forever if crits didn't exist. Against 2 sets of 33 experience. My name is question mark, which is the funniest thing. Still funny that they didn't think that someone would actually name him that. Now, would you actually say question mark? If you actually told them in person, or would you just say his name is... You wrote it down for him instead? Now, this generation also introduced animations for Pokemon where when you see them in the wild, they actually move around and made it feel more like it was more realistic, but at the same time, they were actually kind of upset whenever the next generation came out because Gen 2 was supposed to be where Pokemon ended, but it didn't. Clearly, it's still going strong even 30 years later. Because this year will mark the 30th anniversary of Pokemon as a whole franchise. If you count, if you're starting from Japan. Now, if you started from the United States, then you got another 2 years until that happens. So yeah. I like how he just leans his head forward. His real name is Silver, but that's usual. I like how you don't just automatically speak to him. Violet City is west of where we met up with the professor. They say you receive Pokeball, but you actually receive 3 or 5 of them. And this guy will show us how to catch something. Would you like me to show you how you catch something? No. That's just a tutorial in case you've never played a Pokemon game before. That's why none of the games actually have a set number. Because would you be more likely to buy a game that has a number? Because you'll be worried about how was the first game. So the first one was a low roll and the second one was a high roll. Okay. Are you gonna give me a level 4 Hoot? That'd be great. Just use Razor Leaf, that'll be ended. Thing is, I don't know if there is a way to catch a Hoothoot in the next route. Level 2 is under level new. It's one level 4, and that's all I need to see. I think Sentret is in just grass in the daytime. Not 100% sure because I don't hardly play during the day. But yeah, that means that certain Pokemon shows up at a certain time of day. As you can see, it's just Hoothoot and Rattata. Now, as I said, whenever there are male versus female in this generation only, they made it so that their attack stats aren't as high as the males. So, as for example, as you can see, its attack stat is 6. It will probably be at 7 if it was a male at the same level. But that's not the case now, is it? And now that we are actually on the whatever you call that. We're done with the tutorial, that's the best way to put it. We are now able to use Pokeballs, and now we can head toward north and west. Funnily enough, in Generation 1, we actually head west. I'm gonna say east. We go north and some more north. Poison just to start the game. That's amazing. The first poison thing poisons us. Okay. As I was saying. In Generation 1, when you first start, you go from your house, then you go north, then you go some more north. Then you go a little bit more north, and then you have to head east. After you head east, you go straight to the east some more, and then you're out the cave. You get out the cave, and then after you leave the cave, you go straight to the next city. But first, you have to go north just to be able to get some items, get to advance the plot. You got to love this freaking poison. Unfortunately, they fainted. Anyway. Poliwag. Oh yes, I want one, but I love how you are too slow to actually run away, but fast enough to actually have some speed. Now, in this gym, there's a split evolution for Poliwag starting in this gen. You see what happens is it depends on how you evolve it. There's two ways to evolve a Poliwag after it evolves into a Poliwhirl. There's two ways to do it. One involves the King's Rocks, I think, and the other way is the Water Stone, so yeah. Yeah. To be fair, you literally have a level 2 or 3. So I would suggest you level. And as you can see, trainers have names now. They don't just say have what trainer type it is. It's now they actually have actual names that coincide with them. You can only imagine how much space that took for a game back in the day. Nine damage? Nope. 17, and that's only due to a crit. This is not ideal. Alright, Razor Leaf. Leech Seed. The question is, does he ever evolve that? And the first trainer you ever face is the one that you can call, but this is not like the remakes. It's not like the remakes where they automatically talk back to you if they are able to actually add you. This ain't the remakes. Because if it was, then... Not even the remakes fix the clear. They try their best to fix the fact that you can literally face the 5th, 6th, or 7th gym in any order, but you have to face them before you get to 8th. I love how this is a mandatory fight because you cannot avoid him. You went from Youngster Joey to Youngster Mikey. Level 4? Level 2. Now the question is, will you actually get to level 5 because of a level 2? We'll find out in a second now, won't we? Obviously, with the experience share, it helps. I think the first time we're going to see a Sentret literally from a trainer. It's a good thing you know Bubble, because it's sure like raising his defense. I think Sentret's highest stat is his defense, actually. That's the range I wanted before. Oh. Instead of me having tackle, I haven't yet to get a freaking flying type movie. I love how a lot of people view the Ladybug line as a fucking fighting type. Next is a Spinarak, which is literally gonna probably poison one of y'all. And there's no way to avoid poison this early in the game, since none of y'all are part poison. Or unless you have a Spinarak yourself, that's literally the only way. And of course you get the first try poison. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you get the first poison? Does that actually make you slower than it? It does. Do you get poison from it? You don't. That has to be exactly one experience needed. At least. Literally one. Literally one. Alright. This is gonna be one of the few times I can actually say I seen the number 1 to level up. You need 216 experience just to get level 6. And whatever level group it is. And because I do not know. Still funny that you sent, and I don't know how you. It's funny how you don't know how you send it to her. This is before the modern day way of sending money to somebody. And learns Peck at level 6. At least that takes care of the pesky Spinneracks. If that matters. I don't think we're really gonna have to worry about Spinneracks after pretty much the next area. How much difference does it make? Somewhat of a difference. I gotta answer those though. I have to back up again. But if they poison us again, then we have to. Alright, it's time for you to level some too. Level 5, that's funny. We found a potion. Just don't go too far from here because this is actually how caves are set up. It's not like in Gen 1 where you can see that somewhat of the outlook, but unfortunately Leech Life is very good this early on due to it literally what you call it, being something that's super fatal against grass types, pure grass types, or anything that does not resist bug. It's a long list of Pokemon types. I'm getting trained by Geodude. I want you to get at least level 7 before I advance in Bellsprout. I didn't even know Bellsprout was in this grass. But I'd catch you. Only Lilith knows is that. The only reason why Ghastly's out is due to it being nighttime, so. And in this ROM, they also made it so that Pokemon that needs to be trade that are trade evolutions can still evolve via level. I'm on. You have to get to that level. There you go. I just wanted you to get level 7 at least. Now what we're gonna do with this Bellsprout is we're gonna put her is it? It's a he. Put him in the daycare. But as you can see, this is proof. You see how high the attack stat is now. Only female Pokemon is right here. Look at its attack. Very low. Your defense is the highest that it can be. Wow. Alright, we're nearing the end of this route. That's a long eyesight. Alright, we're facing a Weedle, and yeah, we gotta switch. Are you still faster than him? That's the question. No. Do you get poisoned? No. There he is. Pineco. What is there to be said about Pineco? Not much. It's a very bulky Pokemon. He evolves into a Bug and Steel type. And that's about it. Now, what item did we get? That's good. Yeah. That doesn't surprise me that happened. Alright, we're now in Violet City. We're not heading to a gym first though. We're gonna head to Sprout Tower, get some levels. You being first is not ideal, but it is what it is. Now, they did fix it so that the opponent actually loses PP over time, so we don't have to worry about them having infinite moves. I feel okay. Octopus grass and flying. I think in this generation, in the first 3 gens, Ghost is physical, which still makes no sense why they did that. Considering all of them are mostly special attackers. Alright. paralysis heal. If they had stun spore, that would be a good thing, but most of these only have Vine Whip, so you say honor all Pokemon, but mostly Spellsprout. Some turn the Pokemon with the lowest stat. I think they were Steel. We'll take that 1 damage any day. And last but not least, Bellsprout. I don't think in Gen 1 it was just stuck with Vine Whip at this point. Could be wrong. But you couldn't melt and actually face it though through Bellsprout in Gen 1, so. Shrub. Let me guess, you got 1 Pokemon. 30. One damage. Do you get level 10? Maybe after this one I will. There you go. First Pokemon in double digits. Well, trying to find out how much does Vine Whip do to a Ghastly. 2 damage. Level 6. Smile should be packed in with a Pokemon that's based off of gas. Oh, it has 12 now, so it learns it at 5 or 6. So all it did was make it so that your Vine Whip does 2 instead of 1. Okay. That's one way to do it. Funnily enough, you don't even really need flash for that much in this game. And I think in the remakes they may flash your actual TM, but I'm not sure. No, Gen 5 may flash it TM. What is with y'all with level 6 Bellsprout? I trust him enough to know that you're not gonna be able to beat us. Hoppy, ouch. Hoppy level 7. Despite it being grass and flying, it doesn't really use any flying moves as a part flying type. Not until he evolves. As you can see, Hoppip is based off of Turnip. And last but not least, the Bellsprout. Well, here's the issue. I don't think you're surviving this Bellsprout. If it uses growth. First try Hypnosis, go. Let's go, it did it. Now the next issue is Smog is actually physical. Just like Lick is. So there's no choice but to use Lick because it does more damage than Smog. Both for same type. But one's weaker. Very, very much weaker. And Smog can miss too. And just like that, you get level 7. R&D skills as a trainer, but as far as here's your TM, HM, but let me say this, you should treat your Pokemon better. Raid battle is far too harsh. They're not tools of war. He claims to be ill, but he weak. Blah 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 blah. I'm macho. All that. That's cute. Foresight. Oddish, the Pokemon that if you wouldn't see really at all except for against you. First try Hypnosis again. Unless you play your red version. If you play Pokemon Blue, you won't see Oddish except for in trainer battles. Because that was a version exclusive. We got the Bellsprout line. But the Bellsprout line is not that bad considering Gen 1 it was basically a mixed attacker. If you wanted to make it a special attacker, by all means. Physical attacker, by all means. Also helped the fact that it was one physical, one special attacker. With it being grass being special and poison being physical. Paralysis. Just situational. Hmm. Yeah, she took you out. Hmm. 2 damage. Lastly is a sun current. Really? Sun current is your ice? Just use spec twice and we're out of here. I love how I wasn't wrong. Usually I'm wrong about how many times I have to use a move. It ain't gonna give you much experience because it's a sun current. We're gonna have trouble using it until we get that first gem. I'm aware. Use this escape rope because that's exactly what it's useful for. Get out of here. I'll use this Pokemon Center, heal, face the gym, and then after we're done with the gym, we end the episode. Do we have the right Pokemon first? Yes. Will it do damage? Probably not. It got Smog, so it does have a move that it can attack from it, but it's not gonna do much with its Smog. Use Smog, only thing that it can hit you with is literally Peck. 8 damage. Versus you're not, so 8 damage. But you poison it. Well, it has Peck, and none of you would resist any flying type moves, so. I think Peck does more than Tackle. Or it's the same damage, but one's more accurate. It's one or the other. One Spearow and it's level 9. Good start. I think in the remake they made it so that you can skip the trainers and go straight to the gym leader. I can run a few times where you don't have to face any other gym trainers at all. And they also changed a lot of Pokemon moves type. They made Gust be a flying type move. Some say that they kept Gust as a special attacking wing, not special attacking, a flying type move due to the fact that if you got if you pick Bulbasaur, you're gonna have a harder time than you would if you would have picked, you know, well. I don't think Bubble's gonna one-shot it from there. Because Bubble's too weak. Let's just speed that up. Level 11. Not to, well, none of y'all have a dark move, none of y'all have an electric move, and none of y'all have anything that can literally say not, it's super effective. So, use Leech Seed. That way at least you will get some HP back. It did 7 damage and you're gonna get 2 back. Okay. Now let's go heal and then place the final obstacle for now. Wrong way. Alright, now we face Faulkner. So we went from rock, flying, rock, then rock again. That's the first gems. Right, let's say drink again. If only Lit could hit him. It could if I had an ability that doesn't exist until Gen 4? And Mud Slap, which lowers your accuracy, but it's not that strong. That's a fun fact. It's not strong at all, but it lowers your accuracy, so it's like it's strong enough just by doing that. And since it used Mud Slap and got a crit, guess what? Gotta switch. I know they love making these same cries because of limitation of the hardware. Now it would be a shame to actually change it due to the fact that so many people grew up with that same cry. So that's why you probably chose not to change it. Quick attack won't one shot unless it crits. I guess he was wanting that crit. Noctowl this early in the game, of course. The whole Noctowl. I don't think you get a Noctowl at level 10, that's under level too. $10 damage, give me a Leech Seed, thank you. As long as it has that down, I am okay. Well, it has to learn Broke at level 6 because you're level 5. If you would have survived that, I would have been shot for you. 5 damage, but you're healing 2. Leech Seed healed you for the whole 5? Oh yeah, your HP is that high. I forgot your HP stats very high for it to be this early in the game. Gave him a whole knockdown that's under level. Supposed to be Pidgeot. Oh no, not Pidgeot. Well, this is a snooze fest, just do that. There was no way we were gonna lose that. Well, we got the Zephyr badge, which means we get 1 in the badge boost. And we also get Mud Slap, and Mud Slap is actually a physical move because it's part ground. Only issue is Mud Slap can't be used against any flying type. Although my aid is in the town, you wish to have that egg. Alright, we tackled the first gym, and not only that, but we beat them, and we start this series. But with that being said, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you have a wonderful day or night. Next time we will be tackling pretty much getting to the next gym area. So with that being said, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you have a wonderful day or night. Goodbye, and most of all, take care.